Are you suffering from a bulging or herniated disc and you're struggling for comfort when you sit or drive? If you are, then this video is going to give you some tips to sit and drive with less pain. Hi everybody, my name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be showing you how to sit or drive when you've got a bulging or herniated disc. Now, before we dive into the content of the video, if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel using the link in the bottom right, because then you'll be the first to hear about our new bulging and herniated disc videos when they come out. Now that that's been said, let's talk about bulging discs and how they can cause pain when sitting or driving. So discs are the structures that sit in between the vertebra in the spine, and they're responsible for giving the spine the ability to move and to twist. And they're also responsible for supplying the bones in the spine, the vertebra, with nutrients so that they stay healthy. Now, a disc bulge or a disc herniation occurs when the back part of the disc becomes weakened and then the fluid center inside the disc starts to push out towards the back of the disc. I'm going to show you what that looks like now. So if this is your bottom two vertebrae, we've got the L4 here and the L5 here. We've got the disc in between, and you can see it's quite flexible, and that's because it's made up of tough, soft tissue on the outside with fluid in the middle. We call the middle part the nucleus. Now, if we get a weakness to the outer layer of the disc, the nucleus starts to push out towards the back of the disc, and it can form what we call a bulge, which you can see there. Now, if you're unlucky, you can see it on this side here. Where are we here? If you're unlucky here, you're going to get the disc bulge touching that yellow thing at the back, and that yellow thing is the nerve. So if it touches one of the nerves in the spine, at the bottom of the spine, you're going to get pain in your leg, and that's because the nerve runs down the leg. If you press on a nerve, you're going to get pain all the way down the course of the nerve. And we call this nerve pain sciatica. So a disc bulge and a disc herniation are the most common causes of sciatica pain in the leg. And one of the problems with disc bulges and disc herniations is they tend to be particularly painful for people when they're sitting. Okay, so quite often people with disc bulges and herniations tell me, they say, "Will, I'm all right when I'm up on my feet, when I'm walking around, but the moment I try and sit, especially when I'm in the car or if I'm on the sofa, my sciatica comes back, it's 10 out of 10 pain, and I can't sit for longer than about 30 seconds. Now, the reason this happens is because of the structure of the spine, and I'm going to explain exactly how it happens now. So if this is our spine, okay, this is a spine when we're standing upright, and you can see here, this is what the posture looks like for most people. So you have a bit of a curve, it's like a reverse C shape at the bottom of the spine, okay, and we call this a lordosis, okay. Now, when we stand, the lordosis is there, and because the spine is shaped in a reverse C, what usually happens is the pressure is being put on the back of the discs, which means that the inner material of the discs is being pushed towards the front. Now, in this model, you can see at the front of the spine, we don't have any nerves, okay? The front of the spine is clear. Now, when we sit, what happens is we tuck our pelvis underneath us and we reverse that lordosis. So it goes from being a reverse C shape into a normal C shape. So it's curved like that, okay? Because we sit on these bones here. Now, when we're sat like this, you can see the pressure of the spine completely changes. And instead of the pressure going on the back of the discs, the pressure now goes on the front of the discs, okay? Now, what this does is it pushes the fluid inside the discs towards the back of the discs, okay? And if there's a bulge at the back of the discs and it starts to push outwards, because the nerves are at the back of the disc, it's going to hit a nerve. And that is why sitting is painful. So to show you again on this model, if you are standing up, your spine looks like this. If you're sat down, the pressure goes on the front of the disc and the bulge comes out. So if you can imagine yourself sitting and this is happening all the time if you have a disc bulge, it's no wonder it irritates the nerve and causes pain down the leg. So that is the reason you're getting pain when you sit and when you drive. Now, the other reason that driving is very, very painful for people with sciatica is to use the pedals, we have to extend the knee. And what this does when we extend the knee, especially when we're in a sitting position, is it puts a lot of pressure on the sciatic nerve itself. Now, one thing is very clear to us, and that is that nerves really don't like being stretched. So if we're sitting and we're extending our leg at the same time, that is a really bad recipe for sciatica because we're putting pressure on the discs and we're stretching the nerve. So all in all, driving can be a very painful activity for people with this problem. Now, there are a couple of little tweaks you can make to make sitting and driving more comfortable, and I'm going to show you what they are right now. So the first one has to do with the posture that you sit in, especially when you're sitting on soft chairs. So soft chairs tend to be worse for people than hard chairs, and the reason soft chairs are worse is because we sink into them like this, and then that makes that C shape of the spine even more exaggerated, so it puts more pressure on the front of the discs and makes the bulge worse. So our job is first of all to try and avoid soft seats if we can. And then once we've avoided the softer part of the seat, what we're going to do is we're going to try and reverse that C shape back into the spine to put it more into the position we're in when we're standing. Okay, so the first thing I'd recommend you do if you're in a seat is you try and you roll your pelvis forward and push your tummy towards the front. And you can see from the side, if I do this, that just brings my spine back into that natural reverse C shape. Now, for most people, that won't quite be enough. So many people are going to need a little bit of support at the back. And here is what I recommend. What I would recommend you do is you take a rolled up towel like this one, so a nice soft but pretty large towel, and you tuck it right at the small of your back, just above your belt line. So you're going to sit it with it just at the small of your back. You can see this is about where it's going to go here. You sit with it there and you press yourself against the back of the chair. So when you're sat against the back of the chair like this, it's pushing your spine forward. And even though you're tucked underneath, your spine has gone back into that really nice natural reverse C shape. So that's the best thing you can do when you're sitting. You can do that in the car as well. It should feel nice and comfortable, and it should improve your pain if you have sciatica. Now, the other thing that I would recommend most people do, as long as it's safe for you to do so in your car, is to bring your knees closer to the steering wheel by moving the chair forward. Now, the reason we try and do this is so that the legs are not fully extended, so you're not putting pressure on the sciatic nerve. You bring your seat a little bit closer to the pedals. Your knee is now bent a little bit more, as long as you can still drive safely. And that again takes pressure off the sciatic nerve. So those are the two biggest tips. Those will give you the biggest bang for your buck. Put a rolled up towel in your lower back to reverse that C shape, and bring your car seat a little bit closer to the pedals. Try those two things. Hopefully that will reduce your pain if you have a bulging or a herniated disc. It feels really nice having this towel just at my back, just because that pushes me back into a normal position. So I hope it will help you too. And if you want more information about sciatica, we have tons more videos that will give you tips to help improve bulging and herniated discs on this channel. So have a look at our sciatica playlist for that. And if you want more from me personally, please feel free to pick up a copy of my book. It's got loads more tips about back problems and sciatica, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below this video. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave us a comment below. I look forward to responding to every single one every week, and I look forward to speaking to you again on the next video.